Hi everyone, this is TJ Clashcraft here, and today I want to do a little tutorial on the basics of Redstone. When I say basics, I mean the very basics. And so we have redstone dust here, which you can get from redstone ore, just mining it, and that's usually what it gives you, a bunch of redstone dust. And redstone dust is used to make many other useful redstone items. I am in creative mode, so this is what you'll find in the redstone tab. I'm not going to go over all of that. What I'm just going to go over though is what we see in my inventory, which is going to be a redstone comparator, a button, a lever, a pressure plate, tripwire hook, and a redstone lamp. Just to that one's just to show you how redstone works, kind of. And then I'm going to use a minecart with a chest when I place it on a detector rail. And then I'm going to use some redstone dust, obviously, a redstone repeater, a trap chest, and some string to go with the tripwire hook. We're also going to be pulling out the redstone torch. So just a quickly here, the redstone dust, you could kind of see that in real life as a circuit. A wire circuit that connects a circuit in a circuit board, and so that's really what this is. It's an electric wire in Minecraft, and then these lamps, you could say, are what the wires running through to power the lamps. Now I put more than 15 lamps down. Let me change the weather here, give me a moment. Okay, there we go. I am in creative, so I do have the ability to adjust the weather and the time of day. So first off, let's place a redstone torch. As you can see, what it does is it's going to power the lamps. It will not power all of them because I put more than 15 lamps down. A redstone torch puts off a power of 15, meaning this wire down here has 15, and then 14, 13, going on and so forth. Until we get down to this last one, it has a power of 1. And the power of 0 obviously stays 0, and it's unpowered. And so with the redstone torch, that will put off an output of 15, as I was saying. And so that is good to know in the aspect when you're working with redstone. It's just, again, this is just the basics. And so I have a repeater here, and so if we were to place a repeater down, what a repeater does is it repeats, actually let's put it in a different spot. Let's put it right here. And so what it will do is it will repeat the 15 and send out 15 again. Now it doesn't matter if it's 15 going into it, so to show that, I'll go ahead and put some more redstone dust down here, put a torch. When it hits the repeater, it may not be 15, however the repeater is going to send out 15. You can kind of think of it as a repeater tower, like with radio waves. It's going to repeat the exact same signal that the tower received. Next to it, it will not put off a redstone charge next to it. It only puts it off end to end. It needs to receive it on the side of this delay. So that's what this is. When I click on it, that is the delay. First click is 0.01 seconds. I don't have the delays memorized, but I believe this is 0.03 seconds, 0.06, and 0.09. I am probably completely wrong. You guys can correct me in the comments for that. And then with that, it will put off 15 charge. So as we can see, it did bring it further, whereas before it stopped there. Because we placed the repeater, the charge was able to go further. If we wanted it to go even further, we could place a repeater right here, so that it would produce another 15 charge and keep going. It's kind of like an endless router, not router, but an endless power if you keep putting the repeaters. The importance to this would be if you were to build something that needs a redstone charge and you need a redstone charge to go through the whole system. And I can give some more examples of that in other videos. Now I want to move on to the comparator, so let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff. And so let's place the comparator down. And the comparator, what it does is it's going to compare things I believe I set that up wrong actually. We want to set it up this way. So you want the side with the two torches on it to be facing where you're going to have it compare. So I'm going to place a detector rail, and what the detector rail does is it sends a redstone charge. And it's just going to send a small redstone charge. Actually, it might send 15. Let me double check that. So let's see here. I believe it actually sends a power of 15, the redstone charge from the detector rail. We can test that after the comparator. But why we're using a detector rail is because we need something to power the comparator. A normal rail will not power the comparator, and the comparator cannot power itself. And so we're going to use the detector rail, and the detector rail is going to detect this items in this chest. It's going to detect the chest too, and so I can put items in this chest, and the comparator can sense the amount of items in the chest. Now, to kind of show you that the detector rail is important, let's go ahead and remove it, and the comparator turns off. So that's why we need the detector rail to power the comparator. The more items I put in the chest, the more items the comparator will recognize. That's when it's in the comparing state. So the comparator has two different settings: the comparing state, or also the just the observing state, where it observes how many items are in a particular chest or spot, or a hopper, you could say. It also has the subtraction setting. So if I click this switch, it turns on the subtraction setting. And in order for me to show you that, I actually want to put the detector rail next to it with the minecart chest next to it as well. And so we're going to put items in this chest. And so as you can see, it's no longer sending a signal out. However, I'm going to put a torch right here. And what happens to my redstone dust? Oh, I put it in there. My bad. So we're going to put this redstone dust down, and what it is doing is it's in the subtraction stage. It's taking this power, 15 and 14, and subtracting this power of 1. So it's going to put off a power of 13. So it should only go 13 out. However, it looks like it's going 15. So I may have done something wrong there. But if I were to change its settings, then what would happen is it's comparing it now. So subtraction will subtract the two currents. So to make it better, let's actually put a torch down and watch it shut off. It should shut off, I believe. Let's see here if I can get it to work. There we go. So it shut off. The reason why is because it's in the subtraction setting, meaning it's taking 15, subtract, no, not 15, sorry. It's taking 13, subtract 15, or 14, subtract 15, which equals -1, and it can't produce a -1 charge. If I were to move this torch closer, then it would have equal charge. And if I were to remove that torch, obviously it'd send it off. And then replace this torch right here, instead of equal charge, it will have a 1. So you'll probably never use a subtraction setting, but I just wanted to show you guys what the subtraction does. Is it subtracts the big number from the side. So it's the number going into the back from the side. That's all it does. Whereas the comparator, the comparing side, will accept this charge if it is greater than this charge. And what I mean by that is, if I went ahead and made this charge here, let's do this like this. So as long as this charge is stronger, it will the comparator will not produce a charge in the comparing state. And so that's what it's used for, comparing items as well as comparing the redstone charge going into it. And I just wanted to kind of show you guys like how much power it put off with these blocks, so you could see that. So that's the basics with the comparator and the detector rail. So now what I wanted to show you was a trap chest. So how a trap chest works: a trap chest will put off a redstone charge. It will only put off one redstone charge when it's opened. It won't put off more. So if you want to, If you want a stronger redstone charge, you'll have to put a repeater right behind it. I need to change the weather again, man. There we go. And so we'll have to put a repeater behind it if we want it to produce more than just one charge, if we need the charge to go further. And you know, most of the times you use a trap chest because you're trying to trap your enemy who got into the chest without you wanting them to get in a chest. However, you could use it for many other purposes too. The next thing I wanted to show you guys would be a tripwire. And so let's go ahead and set up a tripwire. And let's get the button and the lever and the pressure plate out. So we have a tripwire here and a tripwire hook, and then you place the string. When the string is activated, oops, my bad, I'll have to place it there. So it will have to connect to the tripwire hook, but it will produce a charge of 15, just like the torch would. And then if I place a button down on the ground, it will produce a charge of 15 as well, as long as that button's pushed. The button does not stay pushed. The pressure plate will produce a power of 15 as well, as long as there's pressure on it. As soon as I step off, the charge goes away, and the lever stays. It's kind of like a torch. It's easier to make when you're first starting in the game, because redstone torch, you know, you have to get redstone dust before you can make a redstone torch. So those are the basics with that. I think I wanted to show you one last thing, something that is good to know, but you may not have a use for it with the basics. So this is something that a lot of people make. It's a redstone clock. You want to change the ticks a bit with however you want it. You can change the ticks however you want with the delay. I'm putting it at the longest delay just to start it, and then you can change it after you start it. So here's how the clock works, is after you get a charge in there, it's going to endlessly produce a charge. Now the reason why you'd probably want something like this, say you were going to connect this to maybe a strobe light, if you wanted strobe lights, and in order to make it look more stroby, you just change the setting and get it to go faster. However, if you do put it on the fastest setting, as in the delay of 1 second, it usually breaks the clock, which is why I don't normally do that. And so you'll probably want to keep it on part of a delay at least. Right now we have 2 circuits. We don't want 2 circuits. You will only want 1 circuit going at a time. So it's a quickly place, quickly break. And so the quicker the delay, the more the strobe. The longer the delay, the less the strobe. But this could also work out in other aspects of the game that you can learn about in future videos. These are the basics of redstone. Again, this is not complex redstone. This is just basics. I'm not going to go into pistons. I'm not going to go into any of the other stuff. Just to show you how redstone charge works, and so you can see exactly, you know, how the redstone charge, I guess, is traveled as well. It kind of gives you the basic understanding, stuff that you would normally not find online. This was all I want to show you guys today on my tutorial. I hope you have a good week, and see you next time. Bye.